Hello and welcome to our Sunday morning coffee. So, how have you been feeling this week? For the last, I'm not going to say a few days, even more than that, maybe a week. Um, I'm using my astrology on my phone. Um, the moon, the sun, and Jupiter were conjunct, right? So, the moon is your feelings, the sun is your identity, who you are, and Jupiter is about expansion, right? And so, your feelings of who you are, how you're feeling, you're wanting to expand that. You're wanting to build on that, right? Um, I'm sure haven't you been feeling like you've been working on stuff forever and ever and ever, and like it's just feeling like it's going on forever, right? And you want it to just be done, right? Um, and it will be, I believe, what I'm feeling and my downloads that I'm getting is that this 7/7 portal, which is a week from this coming Monday, so in another 9-10 days, um, that is a preparation for the 8/8 portal, which is Lionsgate, right? So we're preparing for that um, activation, right, of Lionsgate. And what I'm getting and seeing is that this Lionsgate is the important one because Pluto just went in, or didn't just, but has been in Aquarius, right, recently. Um, and I want to, yeah. So it was back and forth in Aquarius, but then it stationed direct in Aquarius after the Lionsgate last year. So this is the first Lionsgate portal for this Pluto in Aquarius. So um, this the moon is no longer in conjunction with Jupiter, but the sun still is. And so your identity, right? You're wanting to build on something. You're feeling like you need to do something. But you also there's also a square for that conjunction with Uranus and Saturn. And Saturn is about lessons, right? And um, I got some notes that I want to get into. Um, Hold on a second. But all that stuff that's going on right now, that is um, that Saturn and Aries square with Jupiter. So that is about um, a tension between your individual drive and emotional needs, requiring a balance between assertiveness and nurturing. So the themes are individuality or individualism versus nurturing. So do I take care of myself and do what I need to do, or am I nurturing myself? Action versus reflection. I'm feeling that this is more of a reflection time. This is more of a taking time for yourself, making sure that what it is that you want is what you move forward with. Responsibility versus security, right? Of course, we want to be secure, but we want to feel like I'm, at least me, I'm feeling like there's all these lessons learned and I just want to move forward, right? I just heard, seems like things are just going on and on and on, old, old, old. We need to do something new, right? Evolution, revolution. We need to grow, right? And so, me personally, and I hope you as well, since you're tuning into me, we're growing personally, right? Personal growth, to our best and highest self. And don't forget, those zodiac readings start um, tomorrow, right? So next week, this coming week, I start with the first three signs. And so I'm going to be looking at the energy of each month or each period, right? And then getting some guidance, right? Remember, it's going to be a 4 week progression of that monthly energy. And so, and I'm going to try to break it down for your sun sign, right? Um, and because that's um, your sun and your rising, right? Because you can have a different moon, planet, different Venus, right? Different Mercury, different um, Mars, which all the personal planets, right? But the sun and the rising. I'm a Libra sun and Libra rising. So your sun is your identity, who you are, but your rising is how you present yourself. So I'm going to be trying to gear that on those two things. Um, so I'm kind of trying to figure out like what kind of astrology am I doing. I'm not doing my kind of astrology, or why I look into astrology is actually the why. And so it's kind of a combination of different types of astrology. And I'm trying to figure out what I want to call that, right? Um, but the manifestations for this time period with just the Saturn square Jupiter, both in Aries and Cancer, respectively. The challenge is you have challenges in relationship, you got career versus family, right? Big decisions, maybe. Need for realistic planning, like have you been dreaming about stuff and now it's time to put it into action, right? And then self-doubt and hesitation. But I'm feeling like this really is a pause. We really need to be pausing right now, and I'm feeling this um, this tension, right? And um, my reading for Friday, which was the message from Spirit, was talking about that tension, right? Um, trying to find it in my so picture. Okay, so now Uranus square Jupiter. So Uranus, it's a tension, or this Uranus square Jupiter is a tension between the desire for revolutionary change. So Uranus is about that change, right? About that evolution, and a need for emotional security and nurturing. Um, that's that's the Cancer part of it, right? Um, Wanting to break free and forge new paths, which is Uranus, while simultaneously desiring comfort, stability, and emotional connection, which is the Jupiter in Cancer. So I just feel this tension, and I want you to know that you're not alone. One, you're not alone in feeling that tension. Two, it's because we need to pause. We need to prepare ourselves. We need to make sure that when we put things forward, that we're doing that to our best and our highest self. Um, I know, at least for me, I don't want to. How many times have we, maybe acted impulsively and done something where we should have just waited, maybe thought about it some more, maybe planned out a little bit more. Nothing wrong with spontaneity, right? Nothing wrong with that. But when it's something that is long term or more important, then we should probably plan a little bit more or prepare ourselves a little bit better. So if we do it work impulsively, then um, we end up having to go back and fix it anyway, right? My dad used to say, "Do it right the first time," right? Like my dad would, uh, as far as spending, right? I was thinking for my little greenhouse that I put up, I was thinking of getting like this portable solar powered generator. So I can get one that's really inexpensive, but is it going to be enough? I mean, this is, remember, I think I brought it up. Well, I know I brought it up before. I don't know if you saw those videos before, but if I want to make a purchase, which is a major purchase, and by major, I mean 600, $1,000 or more, right? Not just a drop of a bucket of some money, right? Not 50, $100. So I try to do some thinking about it, right? I ask for guidance. I want to know, okay, if I get this, it's going to do the little things that I want it. Like I want it for like the little grow lights that I have for my seedlings, and maybe to light up the little greenhouse at night if I want to go out at night. Um, so it could do that, the little one that's rather inexpensive. But what if I want more, right? So instead of buying that, let's say $60 little solar power generator, which has maybe one little portable solar panel, um, then I want to do more. So I'm gonna have to get a bigger generator with bigger panels. So now that $60 was just kind of wasted, because now I have to purchase maybe another three or four or $500 one with bigger solar panels, so I can do more things, right? And then I have to decide, excuse me, what is it that I really want to do with it? Is it just the grow lights? Is it just to light the greenhouse? Because I can get other kind of lights for that. And I don't have electrical going out that far in my yard, so that's why I'm thinking about this solar thing. So it's just some things that we have to decide. So having that relate to what we're talking about now is I need to decide, what is it that I want? What do I want this for? What do I want to do, right? And is what I'm going to purchase going to be enough so that I don't have to purchase something else, right? And yeah, it's great to have, more than one item, but do I really need it? I don't go camping anymore. I don't need that little light for camping, right? I just want it for the house. Now, I guess if the electricity goes out, I'll have two, right? But that's not what I want. So we just have to weigh those things, right? Weigh what's going on. And as far as it goes for us, as far as our expansion, um, the conflict between independence and emotional needs, right? Do we want to move forward on our own, right? I just heard a relationship. Are you having some issues in a relationship and you're wanting to expand that relationship? And sometimes somebody needs to hear this. Sometimes we outgrow those relationships, and that other person may or may not be in the same level. So we have another choice, right? Do we want to be at a different level than them, and that's okay? Because we're not all at the same level. Never are we all at the same level. But is it too far apart that it's making kind of these ripples in the relationship? And you don't want to feel that resentment, right? You don't want to um, be disappointed. You want a relationship is supposed to be happy, right? So um, we just have all these decisions to make right now, and sudden changes in home and family. That's what this Uranus and um, Jupiter is doing. So finding emotional balance between innovation and emotional grounding, growth through emotional exploration. So there's just this pause. We're feeling this tension. We're being impatient, right? Don't be, I know it's hard because we feel like we're ready and we want to move forward, but just take a breath, right? Ground yourself. Take a few steps um, toward grounding, toward being a little more patient. Ask for guidance, ask for signs, ask your guides to give you some more signs. Should I move forward with this, or should I not? Like, should I? If do you want me to move forward with this? Send me a sign, and then you decide what your sign is, right? Um, I want to see a bird, a blue bird, right? And I know I never see blue birds, so if I see a blue bird, that's something way out of the ordinary for me. Um, every morning I see crows. Every morning I see this loud bird on my there's a telephone pole in my backyard. So gross, but there is one. And um, there's a bird always making noise up there when I'm out there in my garden. So that's not, although that might be some kind of sign, it's not anything out of the ordinary because I see him every day, or her, right? I don't know. So we want to try to decide what's going on, but we want to take our time in doing it. And I'm feeling this is what that time is. I'm feeling this whole year is kind of like that. So I wanted to get some cards. I'm using the Soul's Journey, um, and I wanted to see what guidance from Spirit for this week that we need to pay attention to, or special attention to. So we have loneliness, trust, and acceptance. So I know that I'm never alone, right? You're never alone. Universe is always with you. You always have your guides with you. Even if you don't think you're talking to your guides, they're talking to you. You have to ask for help, right? They're they're always there, but they're not going to give you that information until you ask for it. Trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. Trust your intuition, right? Trust your inner voice. You've had all those experiences. I'm 60. I've had 60 years of experiences, good and bad, right? So I've learned from each and every one of those things. Acceptance. I am learning to accept the things I cannot change, right? Is that the St. Jude's prayer? Um, Give me the strength to change the things I can and the wisdom to know the difference, or the things, strength. I can't remember exactly how it goes, but um, give me the strength to change the things that I can. Um, the I'm going to say patience because we're talking about patience. The patience to accept the things that I can't, and the wisdom to know the difference. Right. I know for a fact. Um, I don't know for a fact. I believe that is like the prayer. I know St. Jude's prayer is for Alcoholics Anonymous, and maybe that's the prayer too. I don't know. But anyway, I wanted to read the acceptance card, because that um, is about accepting the, like, where we are. Right. That's what I'm feeling. Accepting where we are and trust that this is the right space to be in. Right now, your soul is learning acceptance. This may force you to feel out of control in a situation or with another person in your life. Right? Can't make this up, people. Just realize that the universe has given you this incredible opportunity to release control. Um, this week, I believe it was the message from Spirit is to release control. Perhaps doing so will help you realize that there is a rhythm, a rhyme or reason to everything in life. Rather than thinking that these are accidents that are occurring, refer to these conditions and moments as divine design, right? So look at that beautiful flower. That's divine design, right? It's perfect. Um, of course, there aren't perfect flowers in nature, but they're beautiful, right? Maybe it is a person or a situation that you do not agree with right now. For the moment, instead of having a knee jerk reaction based on an emotional response, stop, step back, observe, and make an attempt to understand both sides of the equation, which is an incredible gift for you to practice tolerance, grace, and patience. I was just talking about all this stuff, and then this card came out. It was on the bottom of the deck, which was what you don't see coming, right? Because we're not seeing that. We're not seeing that we have to have that patience, that we have to have that tolerance right now, that we have to give ourselves grace, right? Grace is about allowing you to be who you are, love yourself as you are, but give yourself that time and that space that you need so that you can grow, right? To your best and highest self. Realize that although you have come to accept a situation or a condition, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are condoning a behavior or that you support it. You set it for what it is, or I'm sorry, you see it for what it is, and recognize that there is something rich to learn from it. So be open to what's coming in right now. Be open to um, what it is that you're learning in this patience that you're having, or that you're giving yourself, this grace, right? Um, I want to draw from the shamanic healing oracle. Okay, Spirit. What did the what does the collective need know right now with this shamanic healing? Death, honoring your energy, and I move into, or movement into balance. That's a number 1, right? Which is the beginning. Honoring your energy is 15, which is a 6, which is about balance, right? Honoring your energy. And the death card is a number 8, which is about strength. And death is about something that's ending, so something that can begin. And that's what we're wanting to do, right? We're feeling like this is already ended and we're ready to begin, right? So I want to read um, honoring your energy. Look at this card, this vine that's growing from the earth and the water, right? Grounding. You're growing from the ground. The water is feeling an energy, and this is growth. We all have those days when we are disinclined to do anything. We try all sorts of mental tricks to talk ourselves into doing what we should be doing. Does this ever work? No. We end up feeling guilty, a very low vibration, for not getting anything done, which causes us to try twice as hard the next time. which causes us to get overwhelmed and exhausted, which then leads to becoming caught up in a vicious cycle. Right? You know the feeling, right? You you just don't feel it some days, and that's okay. Give yourself grace, right? And but just don't feel like because you didn't feel it today that tomorrow you have to work twice as hard, because then you're going to feel overwhelmed, because then something's going to come up. Like this week my internet went out, right? So I'm having to scramble different ways. I don't have a problem recording stuff, it's uploading, right? So but the cable person um had to come and fix it. So it it was something that I didn't want to happen, right? Because it's very inconvenient. Your body has rhythms just as everything else on this earth does: flowers, trees, plants, and the elements. The tides ebb and flow, the sun and moon rise and set. Animals hibernate, and flowers grow, bloom, and go dormant. You need to listen to the inherent cycles within you. Rest when you need to rest. Work when you need to work. Do not try to overthink the natural rhythms. Go easy on yourself and reserve judgment. You are your own harshest critic. So, grace. Give yourself grace. Trust that you're in the right place. Accept that what you're doing is divine design, right? And honor, well, energy. Honor the energy that you're in right now. Um, I was just thrown off because my eyes are just so messed up. So take your time, right? Be patient, give yourself grace, move forward the best that you can, and know that you're in that divine um, design time. Trust your intuition, move into balance, be patient. It's coming, just might take some time. Do something else, right? Do something good for yourself, nurture yourself. Go walk on the beach, go walk in nature, right? Whatever. Take a day off if that's what you need to balance yourself and recharge and rejuvenate. Okay? Thank you so much for joining me on this Sunday morning coffee. I hope you have a continued rest of your weekend. And don't forget about the 7/7 portal activation that I'm doing on Monday the 7th, which is a preparation for Lionsgate. And don't forget, I'm starting the zodiac signs. It'll be I'm starting from the beginning of the zodiac. So Aries, Taurus, and Gemini will be first next week. And until next time, have a good day.